Alright, so welcome back to Heretic Wargaming. Today we are up at Rules of Engagement, where I'm playing Sean. Hi, Sean! And he brought some Genestealer Cult, and he's setting up his army over there. So we'll come back and I'll show you guys his army, obviously, in a second. So today I brought the World Eaters / Khorne. So caveat here, I completely forgot my entire unit of Bloodletters. I grabbed the wrong box and actually grabbed my Cultist box instead of my Bloodletter box because I was getting the Cultists out. Go figure. So yeah, these stand-in for the Bloodletters are all the Plague Marines, and these 3 Cultists here, they'll be the first ones to die. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. So we'll start over here in the World Eaters detachment. And so if you guys have watched my other games with the Khorne list, this literally hasn't changed. I did try to rework basically in 2 units of 20 Bloodletters. Didn't really like the way it looked. Just figured, hey, I'll just bring the same old list. So let's start with the HQs. So for the HQs for the World Eaters, we have a Master of Executions. The Warlord is a Exalted Champion with a Power Fist. And then that is a Chaos Lord with the Gorefather Axe Relic. So for my Warlord trait, I always take Violent Urgency, which is +1 advance and charge for World Eaters units within 6 inches of that guy. Over here, we have my standard 3 units of Khorne Zerkers, each with 1 Power Fist in a squad, and obviously the Icon of Wrath. We've got chainswords, chainaxes on everybody except for the painted guy. He has a pistol because I'm 1 point over. So he has a pistol instead of the chain axe. So he always dies first. Sad, the only painted blood berserker gets to die first every time. We've got 2 units of 10 cultists and 3 rhinos. Then we also have the 2 Heldrakes with the Bale Flamers. That's about it to talk about those guys. Then we've got a unit of 9 bikers. We have 3 plasma guns in there, a single power fist on the sergeant, and yeah, combi bolters for everybody. And we do take an Icon of Wrath on the squad as well. And then over here, this is 30 Bloodletters with the banner and the instruments. So this guy will be my instrument, I guess. I don't know. There's a banner in here somewhere. I'll figure it out. Figure out who's who after I deploy them from Deep Strike. And Bloodmaster. Now for this game, I did not spend the 1 CP. I'm not taking Crimson Crown because I did find in my previous games that literally did nothing. So save a CP because I use a lot of CP pregame anyway. So yeah. And that is the World Eaters. So let's go see what Sean brought with his Genestealer Cult. Alright, so here is Sean and his Genestealer Cults. What do you got, sir?
So for my HQ choices, I'm taking an Acolyte Icon Ward with... how about we hit back on that? Alright, so the Acolyte Icon Ward is standard loadout.
Okay.
A Magus with 2 familiars, upgrading 1, the purple with the Crouchling. The Jackal Alphys, also standard. Abominant is going to have the Amulet of the Voidworm and the Stratagem 1 CP for the Gnarled Fist. Our counts as Abominant, Smash Captain, and the Lictor, who also got a promotion to Patriarch. We have 3 Layman Russ, purple being 2x Heavy Flamer, Heavy Stubber, Hunter Killer Missile, and Vanquisher Battle Cannon. The Long Boy is the Exterminator Autocannon, Heavy Flamer, Heavy Stubber, Hunter Killer Missile. And over here we have another Exterminator Autocannon, Heavy Stubber, Hunter Killer Missile las cannon. In front of them we will have the Battalion Jackals, which are all armed with demo charges and power picks. 6 squads of Neophyte Hybrids, all standard loadout, 1 having the Cult Icon. A 5-man unit of Aberrants with 1 Hypermorph with Hammer. And in the center we then have the Clamovis and Kellermorph, both of which should have nothing special to them, and 2 Cult Sentinels with Hunter Killer Missiles, Multi-Laser, and Chainsword.
And there you go. And you said they're all Twisted Helix today?
Yep, we are running the Twisted Helix, so getting faster advances and their extra attack.
Alrighty. And I love this guy. So he's actually going to probably end up being your army's standard dude for the photo. So that being said, let's go to deployment, and we'll be right back. Alright, so we are deployed. So Sean, he's sneaky. Just all the blips. Over on the Khorne side, so obviously the Bloodletters along with the Bloodmaster and Deep Strike, all these dudes are in the Rhinos. And this unit of Cultists is in Strategic Reserve. I spent the CP for all that. Over here, we've got the Bikers and a single Heldrake hiding behind this building. The other Heldrakes hiding behind that building. All 3 Rhinos. 2 are basically obscured. The 3rd one he'll probably be able to see and blow it up. I'm pretty sure those are Lehman Russes, so it's pretty obvious. And that's about it. So that being said, oh yeah, I gotta go over our secondaries. So for my secondaries, I took Scramblers, Linebreaker, and Assassinate because he has tons of characters. On my side, he took Linebreaker, Bring It Down, and Hold Vital Ground, which are the 2 objectives here in the middle. We are playing Mission 5. I know I didn't cover that from the GT book. I think it's called Battle Lines. There you go. Look behind me. Battle Lines. So that said, we got to roll off to see who chooses to go first. I got a 4.
Use this new Heretic.
Oh, he got a 2. I don't like this at all because I can't come within 9 inches of the blips, which means I probably won't get a charge on you. This is a hard one. Normally I don't have to think that hard about, but I am pretty hidden. You have 3 Lehman Russes, some bikes. You know what? I will choose to go second. So I'm going to let the Genestealer Cult go first, and we will come back at the end of Genestealer Cults Turn 1. Alright, so the end of Genestealer Cults Turn 1. So Sean has basically moved up a vast majority of his army here. Both these Lehman Russes both shot at this Rhino out in the open. This one, though, he had to measure through the force, so he was -1 hit, and he actually didn't do anything. This guy, on the other hand, did quite a bit. These guys ended up putting another wound on it. Then over here, he threw all of his blasting charges into this Rhino. He rolled pretty badly, ended up only sneaking through 2 wounds and doing 4 damage. Then over there, his Aberrants moved up. Lehman Russ and his Sentinel there shot at the Cultists and ended up killing... Oh, I gotta roll for leadership. They definitely fail, so 1 runs away, and I'll do their leadership here in a minute. And that's about it. So for his turn, he ends up not scoring any points because Vital Ground is scored at the beginning of his next turn. Linebreaker, he only has 1 unit that's partially there, and then Bring It Down, he didn't kill any Rhinos yet. I know they're going to die next turn. So, but that being said, let's move into Khorne's turn 1 and see what blood I can shed for the Blood God. Alright, here we are at the end of Khorne's turn 1. So I made a Hail Mary 11-inch charge into this Lehman Russ, wrapped him up with these bikes, did 2 damage with the powerfist, and then 2 damage with some chainswords. Heldrake failed to wound, but soaked up the overwatch for the bikes coming in. The Heldrake is now in combat with both of these Lehman Russes here. Over here, the other Heldrake flamered these dudes. He made all of his saves and then charged into that Lehman Russ. It actually did 5 damage. Pretty impressive there, Heldrake. And we killed 1 unit of Neophytes, and that was about it. Oh, and a few from that squad?
No, you annihilated an entire 10-man, and then it was 2 from him.
Okay, so you'll have leadership on that.
3, 6, no, 9. So
3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, yep. So you lost 2 then. All right, we flamed 2 dudes from there. Yeah, 2 dudes. And I think that's about it. So at the end of turn 1, I got 3 assassinate points. We did deploy Scramblers with the Cultists back in my deployment zone. Neither of us broke Linebreaker this turn. And then at the beginning of Sean's turn, he ends up getting 10 points because he does hold that objective and that objective while I hold that one and this one. So let's move on to Sean's turn 2 and see what the Genestealer Cult do. Alright, so the end of Genestealers Turn 2. So basically he made an 11-inch charge with the Aberrants and everything else charged in this Rhino. It died. I had to use my last CP to emergency disembark. Lost 4 Berserkers. The Rhino did explode and did a bunch of damage to those dudes over there, and that's about it. Over here he charged into the Master of Executions and he killed a horde of those dudes. The Bikers are still continuing their fight here. This Lehman Russ is at 3 wounds left. And he killed both of the Heldrakes. He actually rolled really well here. I failed all my saves, and that one died and blew up. Actually did a bunch of damage to a bunch of stuff. And then that one died and did not blow up. I'm actually blowing up quite a bit. It's almost like I'm playing Nurgle. So on his turn, he ended up getting actually 6 Bring It Down, 4 Line Breaker, and 2 Vital Objective points. And I actually ended up getting 15 because we talked about it. He left that one exposed, so I actually now hold 1, 2 objectives to his 1 objective now. So end up getting 15 points there. But it's really harsh. Yeah, every model that I lose is a good chunk of my army. So we'll move on to Khorne's turn 2 and see what I can pull out. All right, so we're at the, we've stopped at turn 2. Essentially what happened was I brought in all the Bloodletters in the back line here, charged in, killed up all the Neophytes there, and killed his Leman Russ here. He really doesn't have anything to interrupt. Like, I've got some Berserkers over there, some Berserkers here, and these bikes here. We kind of talked it out. I'll basically remove all of this, and that's going to leave him with 2 characters there, 2 vehicles there, that character, some Aberrants. He'll have the bikes and the last Sentinel. But yeah, his heart's not here anymore because I'm basically going to corner him there and just overwhelm him, overwhelm the rest of his army. So that being said, we're not going to let a video go to waste. I know you guys do not like concessions here, but it's always a good learning experience to hear from people and talk out what went good and bad. So Sean, what were your thoughts of the game, sir?
I did not take advantage of moving the Leman Russes far enough ahead, which allowed the bikers to get far too close, far too fast, and chokehold a lot of neophytes, a lot of characters. In the first, I left the Jackal Alphas in the middle, unable to use target priority, which would have helped against some Rhinos with their pop smoke. So board control, they did well. There was a lot of Bloodletters that had to go much farther back than they wanted to. But as far as screening and placement, could have done some work there. But they are terrifying.
No. So yeah, he did a good job. This is literally, I think, his second game of Knife, and your second game of Genestealers, right?
Correct.
Okay, so just so you guys know, Genestealers is one of those armies that, like, you have to be really good at them to be good at them. And so, yeah, Sean is still learning, and I appreciate him coming on the channel to show. And so where I feel like Sean could have, maybe done things a little better, his whole army can deep strike. I probably would have held a few more of the Neophyte squads off and probably a few of the headquarters. I advised him to take line breakers because with Genestealers, as you guys can see, the way I moved out, and the reason why I did it was because, he didn't have many deep strikers, is he could have pretty much came behind this building with some Neophytes and scored line breaker for the rest of the game, and there was nothing I could do about it. So I feel like that's where Sean could have done better. And then beyond that, I think I would have pretty much done the same thing. I definitely would have lined up the Rhinos to try to, or the Leman Russes to go for the Rhinos. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. But so I hope you had a good game, Sean.
Absolutely.
Give you a shake.
It was a blast. And I like Ninth, but it's definitely a learning curve for me.
Definitely. So we'll have you back on the channel. And so, yeah, this is going to be a twofer. My next game is against Slaanesh, so stay tuned for the next one. Me. All right, yeah, we're warming up our vocal cords here. All right, so welcome back to Heretic. Well, actually, this is game 2, so yeah, I don't have to do the full intro. So, next game, hi Mark, is against Mono-Slaanesh Demons. So, I did not change anything with the list. It's exactly the same list as the game against Genestealer Cult. So, before we talk about Mark's list, we are playing Sweep and Clear from the GT mission book. And so, in this mission, it's the one where if you hold an objective and you move away from it, you still hold the objective. So, you can actually leave stuff and still control them. So, really, really interesting. I don't know if I've played this one. I've like once. So that being said, let's go see what Mark brought, and then we'll do deployment and all the fun stuff you guys are used to. So let's go see what he brought. All right, Mark, what did you bring, sir?
All right, so I brought a battalion detachment of 3 Keepers of Secrets. All 3 Keepers are Exalted.
Okay.
5 Demonettes, 5 10-man squads of Demonettes, a 2-man squad of Fiends, 2 1-man squad of Fiends, 3 5-man squad of Seekers. Then for a secondary patrol detachment, I have a Demon Prince of Slaanesh with wings.
Okay, yep.
And Helexi Hellbane. Helexi Hellbane? Yeah.
And 10 more
And then
Demonettes.
10 more Demonettes.
And so what was your warlord trait and relic?
So warlord trait.
Or relics, I guess, if you spent for more.
So the painted keeper of secrets is my warlord with silver strike, and for relics, we have 3 different relics.
Okay.
We have this keeper right here with the whip of agony.
Okay.
We have the sinistrous hand of where'd she go? Which one?
On one of them.
On one of them. Oh, so
yeah, probably the one without a shield.
So the sinistrous hand.
Okay.
She has Soul Stealer.
Okay, the relic sword.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then she has. It's this one that has silver strike.
Okay.
Sorry, it's been a minute since I played
No
this
worries.
year. All right, and then yeah. So she has Soul Stealer.
Soul Stealer. Okay. Okay. All right. And then yeah, like we said, 60 more demonettes. They're not put out because I mean, literally, he's got a box of demonettes. So that being said, let's go to deployment, and we'll be right back.
I still got.
No worries. All right, so we are deployed. So over on Mark's side, he's got a bunch of Seekers along with some Demonettes. His big dude's obviously in the front. We've got 2 Fiends here, 2 Fiends there, more Demonettes. 2 units of Demonettes are in Deep Strike. The other unit of Demonettes is behind that wall. And then we've got the 5 Seekers there on the end. And then on the Khorne side, so basically measuring out to trying to create lanes. So this is my Berserker with the Exalted Champion. With the Chaos Lord, with the Exalted Champion, we've got the 9 bikes right here, along with the Heldrake, which technically I would skew him if I had to get his wing on. This Heldrake's in the back here, along with the 20 Cultists, and then the Bloodletters are all off the table. So we get to roll to see who wants to pick for first. Hiya! Khorne gets 1. You got a 3. Would you like to go first?
I'm gonna have you go first.
Oh, he's gonna have me go first. So we will be back at the end of Khorne's turn 1. Oh, secondaries. So Mark, he picked, and he's actually got it right above him. Deploy Scramblers, Linebreaker, and bring it down. And he's trying to CP up there. And then for me, I'm taking Linebreaker. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I'm taking it anyway. Grind them down just because he's squishy, and Assassinate because he has enough characters that I could max it out if I kill them. And honestly, I have to kill them to even have a chance of winning this. But we'll see what Khorne does on turn 1. Alright, so the end of Khorne's turn 1. It did not go well. I charged in the Heldrake and did not realize that was the 6-inch Heroic Intervention one. So I was too close. Ended up killing the Fiends and the Demonettes here, but he heroically intervened and it killed the Heldrake. Beyond that, yeah, that's about it. I'm playing very conservatively right now, but we will move on to, so the score right now is he's actually up 3-0 because I don't get any points turn 1. So we'll move on to his turn 1 and see what happens. Alright, so the end of Slaanesh turn 1. He killed a lot of stuff. I've lost 8 Bring It Down. He killed both Hell Turkeys, 1 Rhino. Yeah, did a lot of damage. But it is what it is. This is what I was kind of expecting. The biggest thing that I worry about, at least with Khorne, is that I have because he basically gets to fight between turns. So it's going to be really, really hard for me to pull this one out. I feel like he's won it, but we're gonna press through because you never know what can happen, especially when the dice. And he hit and wounded everything, so it's bound to swing the other way. So yeah, he got 8 points. I'll get 5 points at the beginning of my turn because I only hold the 1 objective, and we'll move on to Khorne's turn 2 and see what happens. We'll see. So at the end of turn 2 for Khorne, so I brought in all the Bloodletters, we charged in here, killed one of the Fiends. This guy is left at 3 wounds. Did charge in the Berserkers too, which was probably a bad idea. What I should have done was actually probably charge the Berserkers into the Seekers, killed them, and then what would have happened is I would have killed them, killed him, or put him still low because, you know, I at least get a save against him. That was a bad idea. Killed the Fiend. Over there, we killed that Keeper of Secrets, and we killed all these Seekers in the back and lost 2 Berserkers over there. So on his turn, though, he gets 15 points. I got 3 for Assassinate. Not looking good for Khorne, but let's move on to Slaanesh's turn 2. So the end of Slaanesh's turn 2. So basically the Bloodletters killed the last keeper here. Did a bit of damage to some demonettes. Over there he charged 2 HQs in there. So Chalaxi killed my Exalted Champion and a unit of Berserkers. The Berserkers and the Chaos Lord ended up killing the Demon Prince. He ended up charging over here, killing the 1 unit Cultist holding my objective. So right now I only hold 1 objective. So I only got 5 points that turn. So the score is very lopsided. I did end up getting a bunch of assassinate and I did get grind them down that turn. But he was able to secure line breaker. So let's go to Khorne's turn 3 and see what I can do. Alright, so the end of Khorne's turn 3, so we're trying to play tactical Khorne at this point. Basically move the Berserkers just away from the Chalaxi, that way we can have that objective. Over here, which I did not realize, he mentioned it, this is the one where you can hold it and run away, because he actually holds this one, and I completely forgot about that, because I actually would have went for it. Over here, we killed all the demonettes and a few of the seekers. My Bloodmaster is now left at 1 wound. And over here, we've killed the fiends, all the demonettes, so he's left with 2 seekers and a keeper of secrets. So he ends up getting 10 points on that turn. And let's move on to his turn. 3, 4, 3. All right, so the end of Slaanesh turn 3. So yeah, he killed the Rhino over here. It blew up. We ended up killing the rest of the Seekers, and the Fiend died. Did 3 damage to her. 1 Cultist left. You gotta roll your Feeling of Pains. Did you forget again?
Yep, I did.
The Rhino's left at 1 wound, and that is about it. So let's move on to Khorne's turn 4. I ended up getting 10 points. I did grind them down last turn. So yeah, let's... sorry, that would have been last turn. So yeah, let's move on to my turn and see if I can make anything happen, which I don't think at this point I can, but yeah, we'll see. Alright, so turn 4 I am conceding. So just so you guys know, with 32 attacks for Bloodletters, I ended up doing 1, 2, 3. 3 wounds out of 32 attacks. So that being said, I literally cannot do anything about that. He's going to kill these next turn. They'll probably still be alive. Probably end up losing them. So there's really no reason to continue the game. So that being said, Mark, I'll give you a handshake. Yeah, Khorne is not in a good spot against a good army. We really need that second wound. I was losing lots and lots of Berserkers to literally Demonettes because it would roll a single 6. There goes a Berserker. Yeah, and I can't say much more. So, Mark, thoughts of the game?
Yep. Thank you for the game. Appreciate it.
Well, what about your thoughts?
The Chaos definitely needs an updated codex for sure. I also play World Eaters, and that's one of the main drawbacks is the fact that Berserkers only have 1 wound. So they definitely need something else for their survivability. Because throwing them in a Rhino only gets them so far.
Right. And it doesn't help too, like straight 3 damage from the keepers. Like, like literally he kills a Rhino every time he swings. So there's nothing I could do about it. Yeah, and I thought it would do a lot better than it did, and obviously didn't do better. So that being said, thank you so much, Mark, and thank you guys so much for watching. So I'll give my post-game thoughts of Khorne overall. We are 4-1 with the list, so yeah, can't do anything about Slaanesh because literally he just gets to fight before anything I get to do. So yeah, and I'll see you guys here in a minute. So hey Heretics, thanks so much for watching this double header battle report, and thanks to Sean and Mark both for their games. So we'll go ahead and start with Sean. So Sean, he did answer my post to say, hey, looking for some games, responded, and yeah, I did not know that it was second game of 9th edition, and I also did not know it was the second game of Genestealer Cult. I actually did not even know he was bringing Genestealer Cult till he showed up. So for Sean, we did talk quite a bit about his army and his list, and just overall the play. Genestealer Cult is a very, very hard army to master. Even the best players in the world that play them have a very hard time with them right now. So very brave of him. We did talk over some things that he did right and wrong, gave him some suggestions, and maybe some list tweaks. So I do look forward to Sean hopefully showing up on the channel in the new year. And so I know I did not say this, but these are the last battle reports for 2020. So yay, we made it. Well, at least here on Heretic Wargaming in November, we made it through 2020. And so, yeah, last games of 2020. Looking forward to a brand new year when we're going to have the Death Guard Codex. I'm waiting on my new Forge World book to show up. And then, yeah, looking forward to, hopefully we get some more Chaos stuff pretty early in the year. And then on to the second game. So, second game, congratulations to Mark. He has handed me my first loss for 9th edition. Yes, I have done about 30-something games. And yeah, my first loss. And yes, I was a little bit salty. I did go into the game knowing that I was playing with more or less a meme army. Mono-Khorne is not exactly competitive. Competitive in a traditional sense. There we go. But I did feel good about my list, and going into it, I just did not realize how hard of a counter Slaanesh would be. And so let's go into the goods and bads, right? And I did talk a little bit about it with Mark, and we did have a big discussion. Obviously, Slaanesh Demons have a lot of play. They are incredibly powerful. They will punch you in the face. 4 Keepers of Secrets is no joke, especially with the Exalted traits. Now, even though I'm a Chaos player and I know a lot of things about Chaos, and I knew Keepers of Secrets hit very hard, I have not actually experienced them myself because I only own one, and I don't, even though I've talked about the list multiple times, I just really didn't understand just how hard they hit. Having 10 attacks apiece at AP-3 is not good for Chaos Space Marines, right? It meant that literally I had no save against most of his attacks. The other negative part is that even his little stuff, like the Seekers and the Demonettes, for every 6 to wound, they basically instantly kill one of my Marines. And with Khorne Zerkers only having 1 wound, ends up not being a very good day. But that was not the biggest reason why this matchup it was a hard one. So well, I made a few critical errors, and Mark made some errors too, like forgetting some rules. Like he forgot he was -1 to hit until like the third time I was swinging at something. And I was like, oh crap, I completely did not know that. And I thought only chainaxes had the -1 to hit, so I did not know all keepers did. So made some mistakes on both ends. I forgot, for example, what was it? I had some rerolls or something that I had forgotten. Oh, and I had used Veterans of the Long War and completely forgot I had used that too. But yeah, so the reason why this matchup was incredibly hard for me. One, going into it, I did not realize some of the stuff he had. So, for example, he used the Living Whip relic, which is 6 shots. I did not know it was AP -3 and straight 2 damage. So that whip alone killed 6 bikers. And after the game, I was like, Mark, that one whip basically killed enough bikers that you killed basically an entire Keeper of Secrets worth of bikes with this one CP relic, right? And so I was like, man, I can't wait till the bikers get 3 wounds, because he would have killed 3 as opposed to 6, which would have actually been massively impactful in this game. So losing the bikers that way, getting I didn't get overly aggressive, but just how fast Slaanesh moves, at least in this deployment map, I should have been a little bit more conservative. I should not have tried to basically fish. I basically should have just given up turn 1, not doing very much. And yeah, I took the initiative way too hard, so that was definitely a negative there. Now, obviously, I was able to pull it back some, by turn 4. It was very grim, but definitely had a few plays. And so the reason why I gave up on that turn was everything went sideways. It wasn't just the Bloodletters failing all the damage, but I actually failed 4 charges in a row into his middle Demonettes, which would have scored me that objective, because a Chaos Lord, he had like a 9-inch charge. Even with a reroll, he failed. And then Khorne Zerkers had a 7-inch charge, and even with a reroll, they failed. And I was like, okay, well, that's the beginning of this. And then the Bloodletter swung, and then I was just like, yeah, at this point, dude, you're just gonna table me. There's nothing I can do. There was really no reason to play beyond that, because I already knew what was gonna happen. But the big reason, and I keep saying that I was going to talk about this, the big reason that this game was hard is because Slaanesh is basically a hard counter to Berserkers. And the reason for that is because anytime a Slaanesh Demon fights, right, they get to fight in the charge phase. So that means when those Berserkers and stuff charge in, we're taking turns to actually swing. Now, you know, Berserkers, they do get 2 attack phases. Well, what happens is I get to swing the one time, then he gets to interrupt me, and then I get to swing the second time. In this matchup, especially, it ended up, it's basically free interrupts. And so he was able to kill a whole unit of Berserkers before they swung. He was able to do a lot of damage to, like, Bloodletters and stuff like that, between swings and stuff like that. So it was very critical that I picked certain units. But, yeah, Khorne does not really have a lot of staying power, unlike, like, Nurgle. So, when he would swing, whatever damage he did, just it did enough damage, that way my damage output went down, and my damage output wasn't as good as him. So overall, because, you know, the Keeper of Secrets being -1 to hit, having the Exalted Warlord traits, a 5-up, so some of them had 6-up Feel No Pains, I just was not able to do like anything. It actually felt incredibly bad fighting in this matchup, because literally the Keeper's Secrets was just like the perfect counter to everything I had brought, and everything that I built around this list. So the way I liken it is that Slaanesh Demons do everything that Khorne does, but better. They get to advance and charge. They get to move across the field so fast that you can't escape them. They hit just as hard. And at least when you're playing Chaos Space Marines, you don't get a save. Literally, it was a 6-up save or no save at all against pretty much everything. As a matter of fact, you know, he fought with one singular fiend, killed Master of Executions, and didn't take any damage back. So that did not feel good. I was like, well, shit, this is pretty crappy. You know, it just overall was not a good game. It was not a matchup that I went into confidently, and regardless of that, I did make a few misplays. Like I said, I went too hard. I probably should have been a little bit more conservative, but it was definitely a hard matchup, and I learned a lot. So it was a well-earned win for Mark. Definitely learned a lot about the Khorne and stuff. So hopefully in the new year we can bring back some of these mono god lists, and we'll kind of see. I know Mark was like, "Oh, bring a list, you know, next time that can handle this," and I think my Nurgle Demon Engines would actually do pretty well against it. But we'll see, because Death Guard is about to get a brand new book, so there's going to be new builds. So obviously some more Death Guard will come into the channel. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini-series with Khorne. I know this is 4 battle reports that I filmed with this Khorne list. It was a blast to play. It was a lot of fun. Heldrakes still are not the best. And Chaos Space Marines in general definitely need a lot of help. Good thing is, they do get access to all the new Forge World stuff, which hopefully as of the time that this video gets posted, they put out a FAQ, and we'll have that back for Death Guard and Thousand Suns. That would be great, because that'll mean I can use my drills for more than the Chaos Space Marines. But I will say, I have put those Forge World models on the table, and stuff like the drills definitely feel a lot more powerful, even though they're already powerful. So, if anything, that I'll maybe do like a double drill Khorne Berserker list or something, instead of doing Rhinos. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But, as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, share. Thanks again to Sean and Mark, and I'll see you guys on the next battle report in the new year of 2021 here on Heretic Wargaming.